So today I'm going to show you my favorite opening. It's the Scotch Game Goring Gambit, where rather than taking the pawn, we offer them another pawn, and we offer them another pawn. And we play this game that looks similar to the Danish Gambit. Now I do want to point out that this is not a good move. It's not a common move, but it's not a good move for them to attack us right away, because this is actually a brilliant move on our side. Once they take it, we give them a check. But rather than taking the knight right away, we play this move first. The idea is to provoke the pawn to come forward. Then we take the knight, and now our bishop's eyes is on the rook. They got a block, we castle, and our game is very easy. Most of their pieces are still on the home rank, and the king can no longer castle to safety. The alternative here is that they can step forward with the king rather than push the pawn, but this is already bad, because what we can do is we can play here rather than take the knight. The king has to go over here. And now black is forced to give up their queen now after this check. They have to take our piece like this, and then he'll be a piece up. If they don't, and they move their king instead, it's checkmate after a few moves. Just give them a check, a check, a check, and a mate. So that's why they have to give up the queen. And in the case where they don't take our bishop, and they rather step forward, well, free knight. After they take the knight, now it's the exact same thing as before. They can step their rook to safety. We play over here rather than taking the knight, because again we have the exact same sequence. So they have to give up the queen and play on from there, or hawk the king into mate, and this is a funny way for them to lose the game. So let's move on to the main line, where they give us this check. We block, they bring out their knight, we castle, they castle. And now we up our knight to the center. This is the most common position you will reach in this opening. And then your opponent decides what to do from here on. Now this is the best move in the position, to bring the bishop back. But it is not common. So, knight can take. That's the most common move, by the way. We take back with the pawn, very important. And now, the knight's got 3 safe spots to go. This is the most common one, but it's bad. Because our queen comes forward. We are threatening mate. This is not a good way to stop mate, because it hawks into a discovered check and the knight is lost. So we will just very simply go on to win this game up a piece. So this is the best way to defend mate and attack our queen at the same time. Now very important, we go over here. We keep our eyes on the square. Now what can black do? Well, they can do this to set up some discoveries and protect the knight. What we do is we attack the knight this way, and we reveal an attack on the bishop. So, if they try to guard their knight this way, we grab the bishop. And they try to get tricky with us by playing a move like this, with the idea that we take, and they can play the knight over here to get some aggression on us. Well, all we gotta do is we step our queen this way, and now there's no time for that knight to grab our rook, because it's gonna be mate. So they're forced to go back. And then you just simply put your bishop back, and the attack just rolls on. Rather than going to e7, is to go over here and attack our bishop. Now what we do is, we just very simply move out of the way. Black will play over here, opening up the bishop. And now, very important, we play this queen move. Attack both of these pieces. This is the best way to defend everything. Bishop guarded, knight is guarded. And keep in mind, en passant is not forced, don't do it. Instead, attack this piece, because it is actually trapped, it cannot go anywhere. All squares are covered. So what does black do? They attack our queen, we go back. This is actually one way to play, and just lose the bishop and accept that you lost it. The other way that is most commonly played is to push forward. All we gotta do is take it, and then take this piece. After the knight attacks our rook, we just simply move it out of the way, and the game goes on. We are gonna win this game, we are up a piece. The other alternative over here, rather than pushing the pawn to develop the light squared bishop, they can drop back with their bishop. That's the second most popular move, by the way. We still go here anyway, but the difference is, once they play over here to defend the knight, most popular move, we actually have this bishop sacrifice. Now, the idea is, once the king takes, we give him this check. King going to the corner automatically loses the game after this, this becomes pre-movable because the longest black can survive is to run and then to get checkmated this way. And if they step forward instead, like that, well, we give them this check. The best black can do to survive is block like this, run, but it's a devastating position. They are going to lose this game. The third option over here. The best move for black over here is actually to just drop back. But how can you play a game like this? Those pieces look like they haven't even moved this game. But what you do over here, you just simply bring the bishop back. And now you just slowly develop your pieces. You bring your rook into the game. You place your queen over here. And then you create this little battery. And you've even got a funny way over here to win again. Nice little threat. Which is to place your rook over here. And the idea is that if they take your rook, you've actually got this check. The king moves somewhere. And then you play over here. And now this is a mate threat. The best black can do to survive is to try to go over here. Now, what you do not want to do is you do not want to take this rook. That will lose you the game instantly. What you want to do instead is drop back over here. And now we have some discover check ideas and you will win this game. For the other road that black can take is to take our pawn instead. But this is actually much worse than taking our knight. First thing you've got to remember, you attack the knight. Now worst case scenario for black and best case scenario for us is if they go over here. Because now we've got this beautiful knight sacrifice here. This is the best move to give up the queen, but I can guarantee you no one is going to do that in the game. So they're going to take your knight. And now you grab this knight. This knight is immune to capture, by the way, because once they play over like this, it's checkmate in 3 moves. Starting with this bishop sacrifice. They have to take, it's a check, they have to move, and it's mate. So our knight's immune to capture. Best thing they can do is step forward, but the queen just goes in with threatening mate. They can try to hang on longer, but we just set up discoveries. By the way, this knight is still not free because of the pin, and it's just mate in a few moves anyway. So if they try to go over here also, you can just go here, and queen to the square is literally pre-movable. So the best bet to survive is to bring the rook over, not over there, over here. And now we've got this double check and discovery. The king has to go over there. And now don't grab the queen right away, otherwise you lose your own. But instead, play over here. Because you are threatening mate and you are threatening the queen at the same time. And black is lost. They may as well resign over here in this position. Black is smarter than that, so they're gonna play over here instead. Now over here we've got a nice move. We grab the bishop, they grab ours, and then we give them this check, and it's a fork. So after the king goes somewhere, we grab, congrats, our position is beautiful. The next thing they can do is to defend their knight with the rook instead. What we do is very simple. We line up our queen over here. The idea is we're trying to get over here. So if they push over here, this is not the most popular move, but it is the best move. Actually, it's tied. Very few games, but anyways, the best move over here to push. Now we play over here, we set up a discovery. The king has to step out of the way to avoid complications. And then we take. And now the best thing black can try to do to it is try to boot us out, but this position is still dominant for us. The next thing black can do is to go this way instead, which is probably also one of the better ways. We don't want to lose our bishop, so we drop back. And now black's got many options here. Most popular is this, to bring out the bishop. But what we do is very simple. Once again, similar to previously, we take the bishop and we play over here. So we line up checkmate, and this hangs at the same time. So they've got to play a move like that to stop mate, and then we grab the piece, and the game goes on. And you will most likely win. The next thing they can do, maybe they realize, okay, you want to take my bishop, you can't have it. Well, now we've actually got this brilliant move again. Queen taking is again the best move, but no one's doing that. So they're taking. And now we play our knight here. Same as before, this knight is immune to capture for the exact same reason. So what are we gonna do what are they gonna do instead? Well, best bet is to bring the knight here, but very simply grab a piece. You don't even need to grab that. you can just attack and attack. The queen will come in soon. They can try to check us, but in the end, nothing is gonna work for them. Like, this is almost mate. Like, I believe if the king steps over here, it's gonna be mate soon. And the next case they can play is this, but it's the exact same thing as before. Hangs and hangs. So sadly, I cannot cover everything in one video, it will be too long. Maybe I'll make a part 2, maybe I won't. And obviously, there are other variations here where they'll be too scared and they'll play over here to not accept our gambit. This would be the Goring Gambit declined, that's another opening. The other one that could happen is where they play like this. This becomes the Ponziani opening, that's a different opening. And then there's other versions where they try to be annoying with us, where they push something like this, but the game goes on anyway. But yeah, those are all other openings, which will be covered either by me in the future or by some other guy. But yeah, that's all for now. Go crush your opponents with this opening.